Simon, before we get into the specifics of what's going to happen with the inauguration, I was wondering if you could give us more of an emotional response to how you and a number of other Americans are feeling today.
Look, I mean, Sally, this is an inauguration with a difference. What you're going to see play out over the next 90 minutes or so is going to be on television a celebration. There will be the traditional ruffles and flourishes, the brass bands, the soaring speeches, the performances by Lady Gaga, Jennifer Lopez and others. But make no mistake, this inauguration is different in a whole variety of ways, not just, of course, because of COVID-19, but more importantly because of the security situation that exists on the streets of this city as a direct consequence of the president's decision to incite a violent insurrection on Capitol Hill here exactly 2 weeks ago that left 5 people dead. This city is a fortress for this inauguration. 21,000 National Guard troops on deployment, and yesterday a dozen of them were relieved of their duties protecting the inauguration because the Pentagon worried they might be a threat to the inauguration after they were security vetted and issues were identified relating, at least in the case of some of them, to support of right-wing pro-Trump militias. This is a country that Donald Trump thinks he has forever changed. Over the weekend, the former Director of Homeland Security here, Jay Johnson, who served in the Obama administration, said Americans would eventually come to understand that Donald Trump's presidency was a failed experiment. That is not at all how supporters of Donald Trump view things. And Jay Johnson may be wrong. I mean, Donald Trump is speaking about a political movement that he leads that is only just getting started. There's reports in the Wall Street Journal today. He's thinking of starting a third political party here, the Patriot Party. He's got supporters in Congress currently sitting with the Republicans, but who knows if they'll continue to sit with the Republicans if he indeed starts that political party. It's very easy and tempting for Democrats now to exhale, to express a sigh of relief, joyous celebrations on social media that, you know, as some people were putting it, Elvis has left the building. There is a sense of heightened expectations here as to what Joe Biden can achieve, especially given that it's a 50-50 split in the Senate. The Democrats did not win the majority there that they wanted. And also a concern here that you can't just snap back to normal after what we've seen over the last 4 years and the mobilization of conspiracy theory believing supporters of Donald Trump who in their millions today here will be viewing the swearing in of Joe Biden as illegitimate. Joe Biden, for a substantial number of people in this country, will not be viewed tonight as the legitimate president of the United States. And that is Donald Trump's legacy.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing from you, Simon, is that while many are celebrating, there's an overriding anxiety about what exactly lies ahead, and also real fears about making sure that this inauguration ceremony stays safe. So far, so good. Just talk us through briefly what's going to happen. We know that it sort of kicks off formally when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris arrive at the east front of the Capitol. Just talk us through what happens then, and also after Joe Biden's been sworn in, he's going to be signing a number of executive orders.
Yes, absolutely. So what's happening now is that Joe Biden very soon, within moments, will leave St. Matthew's Cathedral, where he's been celebrating Mass, accompanied, interestingly, by Republican leaders from the U.S. Congress. They skipped Donald Trump's send-off at Andrews Air Force Base and decided to attend Mass with Joe Biden. You can feel power ebbing away from Donald Trump, even though he's sitting on Air Force One right now, still with the nuclear football. He's president here for, what, another hour and 45 minutes or so. Joe Biden will make his way to Capitol Hill with Kamala Harris. Let's remember she is about to make history as the first woman and the first person of Indian and Afro-Caribbean descent to be sworn in as Vice President of the United States. Joe Biden will take the oath of office very close to the stroke of noon here in Washington, D.C. The Constitution decrees that the president has to be sworn in by high noon. Then we'll get the inaugural address, which I think is going to be a soaring piece of rhetoric from Joe Biden, calling on Americans to come together, unite, heal the nation after all the excesses of the last 4 years. And then he's going to head to the White House and get to work dealing with what he says are some of those excesses. He's going to sign 17 executive orders, memoranda, proclamations. He's going to take America back at the stroke of a pen into the Paris Climate Change Accords. He's going to terminate the suspension of America's membership in the World Health Organization. He's going to overturn Donald Trump's ban on travel for people from countries with predominantly Muslim populations. 17 of these different orders that were a Republican president signing them, the Democrats would accuse him of aggressive overreach in terms of his executive authority, but the Democrats are saying there is an urgent need to halt and rescind some of Donald Trump's policies in their tracks, and that's what Joe Biden is going to be doing today. And then tonight there's a whole big evening of celebrations and indeed a second inaugural address. I don't think we've seen one of those before, that Joe Biden will be making here in prime time on American television this evening.
And Simon, I understand as well that the impeachment trial is also going to get underway. Just tell us more about when exactly that's happening.
Yeah, well, we don't know when it's going to happen, but that it is going to happen has been confirmed by the new majority leader in the Senate, Charles Schumer, the Democrat, who now will be leading the Senate and therefore deciding the timetable for things. He says absolutely Donald Trump is going to go on trial for high crimes and misdemeanors, the insurrection that he fomented at the Capitol building, in a move, first of all, to convict Donald Trump, even now he's left the presidency, and then ban him from ever seeking public office again, something that some Republicans on Capitol Hill might find tempting as the outcome of that process. All of this, Sally, means that Donald Trump needs a lawyer, and so far he hasn't found one. So the clock is ticking in that regard. He's going to have to find some kind of legal representation to mount a defense for him at that Senate trial whenever it gets underway.
Well, thank you so much. Simon Marks, live to us from Washington. As Simon mentioned, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are expected to arrive for the inauguration.